Hey, what's going on to everyone out there? I want to get into the recent Baltimore bridge collapse due to the cargo ship. I know a lot of us have heard about it, but I just want to get into some of the facts that just make you go, So we've all seen the tractor-trailer weigh stations on the side of the highway. You know, tractor-trailers get weighed for several reasons, but one of them is for safety. Most importantly, because you don't want to have something that's too heavy to be operated or something that can potentially take down infrastructure. So, we've never heard of a tractor trailer taking down a bridge. So why is a ship capable of knocking down a whole expressway bridge able to pass through canals to risk Americans' lives? It was informed that 6 people died and 2 of their bodies have not been found to this day. I've heard videos of ship having emergency generators in case of electrical failure to help power and steer the ship in emergency situations. I saw videos of people who claim to have worked on cargo ships who says the ship of this size should have been accompanied by tugboats in case of an electrical or emergency failure. So the question is, why is a ship of this capacity able to pass through these canals freely without any support or guidance? The ship was named Dali. Dali shares the name of Salvadore Dali, a painter from Spain born in the early 1900s. Ironically, he just so happened to make a painting called A Broken Bridge. Here's an actual eBay listing of Salvadore Dali's painting of the broken bridge. Let's just take a minute and look at this photo. It looks quite eerily similar at the junctions of the Baltimore bridge that collapsed. And if we look at the background, you can also see that it goes over water. So it is a high bridge over water. And you have these people that look alive, but they're dead skeletons, just so blissful. And if we take a look at this picture of the bridge collapsing, you can see in the top right corner where there were concrete columns and parts of the bridge that do resemble his painting. Here's a few paintings by Salvadore Dali. This one here, the soft construct with boiled beans, a visceral cry against war, shows what appears to be a dead horse and a lot of clocks that look to be broken. I can see the symbology in this one. And this one is called Sleep, an Ode to the Unconscious Mind. If we just take a look at this photo, we can understand that there's a lot of symbology here. It's just very dark, and I'm just not understanding where he was going with these paintings and the meanings. And that just gives a little bit of node to the esoteric possibilities of this situation. And this painting here is called Swans Reflecting Elephants, the Distorted Reality. Now, I have no idea what is going on in this painting. I see a giraffe on fire, some drawers and someone's leg. I don't quite understand what's going on here. But again, we can get an idea of what type of art style this guy has. And I'm not going to say that he was a terrible artist and painter. I can kind of understand why he was famous, but with the darkness and symbology to his paintings, it's extremely ironic that he made a painting that resembles the Baltimore bridge collapsing.
We're going to send all the federal resources they need as we respond to this emergency. And I mean all the federal resources. And we're going to rebuild that port together. Everything so far indicates that this was a terrible accident. At this time, we have no other indication, no other reason to believe there's any intentional act here. Personnel on board the ship were able to alert the Maryland Department of Transportation that they had lost control of their vessel, as you all know and reported. As a result, local authorities were able to close the bridge to traffic before the bridge was struck, which undoubtedly saved lives.
So here, Joe Biden is claiming full responsibility to take care of the cost of the ship, not understanding why, with this big of a disaster and a situation where 8 Americans died. I believe that there should be a further investigation, but he believes that it's an accident, and he's assuming that it's an accident. He also stated that Maryland Transportation was notified, but they weren't able and notified soon enough to stop American citizens from dying. So here's a video of the boat approaching the bridge. And if we just take a look at this angle, it looks like the boat is going straight for the column. And here it experiences first power loss. And then it regains electricity and it plows right through the column. And if we just take a look at the cars passing the bridge, if the boat was experiencing any electrical issues and Maryland Transportation was contacted, why didn't they stop these cars from going over the bridge well before the boat hit the column? It just needs to be better procedures done on the part of the government to avoid these type of disasters. And here the whole bridge collapses. So here I gathered two photos. Please don't mind the resolution, but I circled them in the yellow font. I believe these are columns or barriers to help stabilize and support the bridge, and I will believe to help avoid any boats from hitting the important support columns and beams of the bridge. And it just so happens that this boat made it all the way through that canal, and it just so happens to hit one of the most important beams to bring down the whole bridge. Hours before leaving the port, the massive container ship that caused the deadly collapse of the Baltimore bridge experienced apparent electrical problems. A person with knowledge of the situation told the Associated Press on Monday. The same day, FBI agents boarded the vessel amid a criminal investigation into the circumstances leading up to the catastrophe. Now, this article was dated on April 15th, 2 days before the recording of this current video. So they knew that the ship experienced electrical issues before it left the port, and they did not notify or inform anyone of the situation. And President Biden is saying that this was an accident. It says the Dali departed Baltimore's port early on March 6, laden with cargo destined for Sri Lanka. It lost power before reaching open water and struck one of the supports for the Francis Scott Key Bridge, causing the collapse. It says while the ship was docked in Baltimore, alarms went off on some of its refrigerated containers, indicating an inconsistent power supply, according to the person with knowledge of the situation, who was not authorized to publicly comment and speak to AP on condition of anonymity. What I don't quite understand is who is the spokesperson that spoke to the Associated Press that was able to inform them of the known issues and why nothing was done about it, why they were not held responsible, and why are they able to stay anonymous when over 6 Americans died in this disaster. One would have to think that there has to be better safety protocols and precautions in place to avoid these types of issues. Again, I am not wanting to make this a conspiracy, but with this information, it is just extremely ironic. If you feel the same way or if you disagree, leave your opinion in a comment and let us know how you feel. Appreciate you. If you've made it this far, please like, comment, and subscribe. It's the Bulldog, the Tribe.